So, hi everyone, this is going to be the overview for air pollution, climate change, and water, which is session 3. This is a huge session because besides your discussion posts that you have due this week and your response posts to fellow classmates, you also have your midterm exam due this week as well. So you have a lot of work that you have to do. The midterm exam review, if you don't remember, can be found right here under the session 2 module. So preparation before the midterm is essential. If you have any questions, there will be a video added to the midterm review for study purposes. So this week we're going to cover air pollution, climate change, and water description. You'll have 2 discussion posts due. You'll have a discussion post due for water. You'll have a discussion post due for climate change, and both of them are of course due by Wednesday at 11:59, and then of course you have 2 response posts to classmates for each one of those forum posts due by Friday 11:59. And then if you look here, you'll have your midterm exam due by July 25th 11:59. So you have a lot due this week, but you can do it. Remember, this is a 4-week class, so after this week we go into the last week of the class, and then you have your final exam due. So you have a lot of preparation that you're going to have due. You'll see I'll also add under here the review for the final exam. So you have a lot of preparation that you have before the final exam. You can see here, then the final exam is due. So lots of work due this week. I'll be adding, of course, video lectures for the PowerPoint underwater, video lectures for air, and video lectures for climate change. So I'll be adding those in as well so you can listen to those videos. Here, of course, is the description for air pollution and climate change. And then what you're going to do is be reading about a couple different things. Number one, different strategies that we have done to clean up stormwater, especially here in Philadelphia, which is trying to capture water so the runoff doesn't happen. Permeable surfaces are a big problem in Philadelphia, which means that they don't allow water to soak through the surface into the groundwater. Instead, they allow that water to run off. So that's a big problem, but we've done a great job of trying to clean up the storm water that runs off into the Delaware River and causes flooding. The next article, I'm going to move this one up. This is another way that we tackle rainwater through runoff pollution. So that's another really good article for you to read. They're very short articles. The next one is the war on bottled water and the video of bottled water. So of course bottled water is a huge issue in the United States. We're probably one of the, well, there's a couple other countries that rely on bottled water, but bottled water is a big problem, especially because of the waste that it produces. So you'll read an article about it, but you'll also watch a video on the story, like the story of stuff on bottled water, so you can see the problems with bottled water use. So if you can, try and reduce your bottled water use by using a reusable water bottle. I drink about 100 ounces of water a day. That's a lot of water. So I always carry with me a reusable water bottle. It's a wonderful way to, of course, help the environment, and I drink tap water. I'm a big believer in tap water. I know there's been a lot of issues in Flint, Michigan, and I am wholeheartedly against all of the issues that happen there. But in Philadelphia and the local areas, your tap water is pretty safe. Now, a lot of people say they don't like the taste of tap water. Get yourself a Brita filter. It's the easiest way to reduce your carbon footprint and help the environment at the same time. And then we move into some articles about air. So what's the smoggiest cities in the U.S. and what can they do to improve air quality? You'll see Pennsylvania's on there. Well, actually, Philadelphia is on there. The indoors of air pollution. So a lot of people don't realize that indoor air pollution is more toxic than outdoor air pollution, and that's because it's condensed into a small area. All of the perfumes we use, all of the these scented things that you plug into your house, all of them contain chemicals, and what happens is we put them into the atmosphere and then we're breathing them in all day long. So any perfumes that we use in the house, and that's body perfumes to like Swiffers and Clorox, all of those things add air pollution to our households. And so actually, and we kind of shut up our windows a lot, so opening up your windows once in a while and letting fresh air circulate through your house is a big thing. We've gotten really good at energy efficiency, meaning better windows, All of those things have helped with this, but at the same time, we've increased our air pollution in our homes. And then we move into climate change articles. So can coral reefs adapt to climate change? This is a good article. We're not sure yet. In most cases, we're thinking no, but in some cases, if it's a gradual increase, they may be able to respond. A city prepares for a warm, long forecast. So this is, that forecast is spelled wrong. One of the big deals is our adaptation. So we'll talk about that. Adaptation, or another way of looking at that is the way that we mitigate climate change. So this article deals with the ways that we adapt to climate change. The other article is the CO2 records illustrate a scary trend. So that's another thing. And the other article that we have is about a new terminology, a climate change refugee. So this article does a great job of explaining what a climate change refugee is and different examples of climate change refugees out there. A couple other podcasts here, and a reading on the wake up of the reality of climate change. So I know there's a lot due this week. They're very short articles, a lot of them, so it's not like you'll be spending hours upon hours reading like in some of the other sessions, because we have, longer articles. So these are small snippets of information that you can use that will help you answer the forum post questions for these sessions. And so you can see the water post, you'll pick from one of the 6 questions, and then climate change is your other discussion post. Air, I will be testing you on the midterm, so you'll see a couple more questions on air that will deal with some of the articles up here on the midterm, on the final exam. Okay, so don't forget, this week you also have due your midterm exam, and so you have a lot you need to do before your midterm exam is due. So make sure that you prepare for your midterm exam before the due date. All right. And I'll be putting up some PowerPoint video lectures as well.